Hello and welcome to See Hope Podcast. Tonight we've got a great guest. We've got Sandra Harris with us, and we're going to get into an awesome discussion about who she is and what she's doing here, and what she has been doing to bring the Australian people, or even just local to the coast at the moment, hope, and what she feels she can bring to the table. Before we get started, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the show with everyone you know. Um, Tonight we don't have John. He called in sick, which is okay. Have your thoughts and prayers for him, and hope he gets better. And so, Sandra, tell us, who are you? What are you doing here?
Well, I'm Central Coast, born and bred.
Central Coast, born and bred.
Yep, lived there my whole life, minus a year when I lived at Dora Creek at the age of 4.
Is Dora Creek still kind of it, it's like the border of Central Coast?
Um,
Is it like does it go Central Coast Newcastle, or is there a point in between? Because
it's just north of Morisset, so
yeah,
on the Wangi sort of side, I think.
yeah, but like in terms of geography, people think of Central Coast as you go Sydney, Central Coast, Newcastle. Do people then kind of think of those places in between, or is it just kind of still part of Newcastle or part of Central
I think
Coast?
a lot of people see it as Lake Macquarie.
Oh yeah. It is a big area, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a big area. Yeah.
I've only just moved up here, so it's a I'm still learning everything. Maybe one day I can be considered a local. So tell us a bit about yourself. So you're born here, you grew up here, except for that 1 year in Dora Creek. We won't hold that against you. The beautiful Central Coast is an absolutely amazing place, and I will fight anyone who thinks otherwise.
It is a beautiful place. Um, it is sort of, it's starting to get on that border of being a bit too overdeveloped.
Yeah, it's kind of turning into a Sydney a
Yep.
little bit with all the developments and
Yeah.
all the people moving up,
Yep.
because it is a paradise. And
It is. It's lovely.
yeah. So always kind of lived in the same area.
Yes, mostly. I spent most of my childhood pre-high school in the Tacoma area on the river there. Went to Tacoma Public School. And then we moved into Wyong for a little while in my godparents' house while they moved up to Queensland.
Yeah.
Started year 7, and then the godparents decided to come back, so we ended up moving over to Gorican.
Yeah.
Um, and I stayed going to Wyong High School. All my friends were there, so I just caught the bus in from Gorican.
Yeah, awesome.
And yeah, my mother lived at Gorican until I was probably my early 20s. And then she moved up to Mount Isa for a number of years.
Yeah, and so what have you been doing in terms of uh, work? So you went to school on the coast. I'm guessing you then worked on the coast, and then kind of where have you gone from there? Like
Yes,
after school?
after school, I wanted to get a job as a personal assistant in administration or something like that. I applied for a lot of jobs, went to a lot of interviews, and the response I kept getting was, "We'd like you to have 6 months work experience." And it's like, well, your ad says school leaver. How does a school leaver have 6 months work experience?
Yeah.
I don't know. It got very disheartening.
Mm.
And I then just said to my mother and her partner, please get me a job where you work. I don't care. I just want a job.
Yeah.
And I ended up then getting casual employment at a place in North Wyong called Dalmyson.
Mm.
They were they used to make the fittings for all the telegraph poles, all the fittings up the top of the telegraph poles that the wires go through and stuff. We used to make those, and
They don't
it was
make them.
interesting. It was like a forgery. We used to molten metal and
Yeah, that's really cool.
drilling and sanding and all that kind of stuff. It was pretty interesting.
Yeah, we don't make that in Australia anymore, do we?
No, probably not.
No, I can tell you.
Do we make much?
No, we don't. I can tell you for sure that we don't. Um, so you've um, it's a bit upsetting, isn't it? Trying to
It
trying to get a job,
it is.
and they're telling you we want you to work what for free for 6 months before we take
They
you
want you to
on.
actually have work experience
Okay,
in that
so
position
even if
before
you
they even
went
take
like
you on. Yeah.
I'm willing to work for you for free for 6 months to get that like to get that experience, they were like, nah,
It's
you need to come already with the experience.
yeah.
Oh, how wild! And did you find those jobs in like the paper or like how
Yeah,
would you?
most in the paper. Back then it would have been in the paper, yeah.
Yeah.
Or if you went into the Centrelink office, they had all the jobs on on their computer system.
Mm.
Um,
And
yeah.
and so did you end up working with like the molten metal and the drilling and
Yeah, I was on I didn't so much work on the foundry side. I was on the other side where we drilled bits and put bits together and
mm.
did assembly and stuff like that.
If you want, you can move yourself over a bit so you're
Oh,
not
okay.
leaning out too much if that's more comfortable for you.
I usually lean to the left a bit. I've got scoliosis.
Oh, really? There you go. Has that ever kind of affected your kind of world and how you kind of move through life?
Absolutely. Chronic pain. Yep.
So you're in pain right now then?
Not at the moment. No.
So there's good days and
Yep.
bad days.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Man, that is a scoliosis isn't good, and it's with you for life, isn't
Yep.
it? It's really hard to treat. I used to do massage therapy long time ago, and treating scoliosis was definitely you're just kind of helping people manage the pain. It's not
Yep.
actually like helping them kind of fix it because it's like something that's kind of unfixable
Yep.
in a way. All right, and so where did you move on from that? So you
From
worked.
there, I ended up getting a job where my mother worked at Chickadee at Lisarow Chicken Factory.
Yep.
Um, yeah, it was good. I enjoyed the work. It was good work. Met great people. Um, met my ex-husband there,
Yep.
and
Sounds like you're not afraid to put in the hard yards.
I'm
Some
a
of these
worker.
jobs, these
I'm a
jobs,
worker.
you're a worker.
Yeah, I'm a worker.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's what we want to hear, especially for someone who later in the episode people will hear who is running for any sort of office. Like we'll get to that soon though.
Yep.
So from there you told me ex-husband. So
Yeah.
married a man,
Yes, married a man.
didn't work out,
Had two children. Um, didn't work out.
hence the ex.
Well, let me just say, infidelity played a big part
That's
on his
that's horrible to hear.
behalf. Yeah, it was hard. Um, yeah, so
He's supposed to be your protector. He's supposed to be your leader, and he's thrown you aside. I'm so sorry to hear that.
that's okay.
And you got two children.
Yes, I had two children with him. I have three children in total.
Yep.
The youngest is 10 and the eldest is 21.
And so when you guys broke up, how old were your kids then?
Um, 3 and 16 months,
Oh wow.
I think.
And so you would have ended up with
Yep.
most of the custody then
Yes, I had
as
pretty
the
much what they call it was like 80 something, 84, 86%, something like that. He had
yeah,
them every second weekend. Yeah.
yeah. And so how did you like single mom? That's not an easy challenge.
No, especially when you don't have any income.
Yeah, wow. So
Um,
you weren't working at the time. You were.
no, I was a stay-at-home mum.
Yep.
Um, I had I had returned to my employment at that before I had the children. I'd had a couple of job changes,
Yeah.
and at that point, I was then working up at Ingham's at Mangrove Mountain at the
Mm,
chicken factory, um, and I'd gone on maternity leave and returned as a casual. I didn't want to go back to full time work
yeah.
as a mum. I wanted to be a mum to my kids that I missed out on.
Yeah.
Um, so I did the odd casual shift just to help, bring a little bit extra money in.
Yeah. Help pay the bills.
Yeah. Um,
So you went from I guess being a pretty much a full time mum to needing to go back to work, or did you have another support network that helped you out?
um, well,
We got two very young kids.
When you got two young kids and no income,
Yeah.
the only place you end up is at Centrelink.
Yeah.
And when you're standing in that queue with your children, and the thoughts that were going through my mind is, I don't belong here.
Mm.
I don't really want to be here, but this is the only choice that I have at the moment.
Yeah.
When you don't have a great deal of family support that can help you with
Mm.
your children, so you can get a job and bring some money in, makes it even more difficult.
Mm.
My mother lived in Mount Isa, which is thousands of kilometres away.
Yeah.
So she wasn't much help to me all the way up there.
Yeah.
I even contemplated moving up there.
Yeah.
I was offered job driving dump trucks in the mines, but the hours,
You'd
10,
never
12.
see your
No,
kids.
that's right, 10, 12 hours a day. I was like, what life is that for my kids? I've moved them away from their dad, and their mum's always at work. It's not a life.
Mm. So was it still important for you to have your kids see the father?
Absolutely. I never discouraged him not
Mm.
seeing them. I always encouraged more time. It's
Yeah.
important for children to have both their parents.
I yeah, 100% agree. And so you've gone on to Centrelink, and obviously you didn't stay on it for forever. What kind of how did it all play out?
Um, I did a bit of study. I did my Cert 2 in horticulture. I thought, if I'm going to go back to work, I want to be doing something that I enjoy doing
Mm.
and that I want to go and do. So I did my Cert 2 in horticulture to sort of test the waters out if I really liked that. I had a couple of casual jobs in wholesale nursery and retail nurseries. And when you've got Centrelink on your case about getting a job, um,
So what do they expect you to do with your kids?
well, that's the other thing. I mean, I applied for many jobs, and when
Yeah.
you put down that you're only available within school hours,
Yeah.
they don't want to know you.
Yeah.
And I kept telling Centrelink, you're pushing mums to get back to work.
Yeah.
But if you can only work school hours because you've got no other supports and you don't want your children in care,
Mm.
from sunrise to sunset,
Yeah.
it makes it difficult. And I said, why aren't you encouraging the employers to employ us in school hours?
Mm.
You know?
So you can actually have a kind of a work-life balance going on there.
Yeah.
I mean, I think social safety nets is always is going to be a good thing, and is something that is always going to be a part of our society.
Yeah.
Um, so it was good that the social safety net kind of helped you out. Where does it lead you? Where like the next step?
Um, in 20, 2010,
Hmm.
I was driving home one day and always watching the lawn mowing guys, heaps of them, and everyone's getting their lawns mowed. No one's getting their gardens done.
Yeah,
And
it's a
I just thought there's got to
costly
be a
thing.
hole there in the market. Not many
Mm.
guys like to do gardening.
Yeah,
I loved gardening. And I just thought maybe I could start a garden maintenance business.
yeah,
So that's what I did. I sold my spa and bought a trailer,
yep.
bought some tools, and made up a flyer, did all the, legal requirements, starting a business. And the kids and I did letterbox drop, and I got a couple of clients and just went on from there. It's been 15 years now. I've had, you know,
So the business is still going,
yep.
is what you're telling me, and it's a successful business by the sounds of it.
Well, I'm still going, so I say that's successful. I don't earn, a great deal of money. I earn enough to keep us going.
Mm.
Um, and I don't work full-time hours. I work part-time hours.
Yeah.
I still like to be a mum and be involved in my children and what they're doing and their schooling.
Mm.
Um, yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. I mean, Supermum over here, kind of making us all look bad. Running a business, having two kids, I think you're doing well.
In that time, I also I've done my Cert 3 in horticulture.
Yeah.
I did that online, which was quite difficult.
I think I've studied online before, and I found it to be the worst thing ever. It is the hardest thing to kind of
Hard to keep motivated.
that's right. And someone with ADHD is like, you start something, you go on to the next thing.
Yeah.
It just keeps going. And so you've from there, you've decided you don't like the way things are kind of going in terms of
Well, when COVID hit,
yeah,
I used to be a Labor supporter
yeah,
as a young person, as a worker, because they were the Workers' Party.
yes.
Um,
I
and then
think it's changed a lot from there, hasn't it?
absolutely. And then as time went on, I just sort of went, well, you know, they're not sort of very supportive of the worker anymore.
Mm.
And then when COVID hit, I went,
And
well,
small business.
absolutely. Um, I went, wow, it's lots of bulb moments, eye-opening moments during COVID. And then it's hard to sort of um, fathom that everything that you've learnt growing up is
Mm.
actually almost the opposite of
Yeah,
what it actually is.
yeah,
And some of it's quite a hard pill to swallow.
yeah. I bet it is. Did the lockdowns really affect your business?
Um, Only when they put the trades on hold for those 2 weeks. I think it might have been the August of 2021.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Um,
Was that the 2020,
I think it was 2021.
2020, the big lockdown?
Yeah, when they shut all trades down for 2 weeks, I think it was. And like up until then, I've always seen myself as necessary service
Mm.
because a lot of my clients are elderly,
Yeah,
and I'm not doing as many lawns these days, but a long lawn for an elderly person is a trip hazard,
yeah.
you know?
Trip hazard, critters can be in there. You never know what can
Yeah.
happen with a long lawn. Yeah. And so
That
where did you go from there? So you've come out of COVID, you find yourself going, hang on, the people I've kind of been following for for yonks aren't looking after us anymore.
no, they weren't.
And
I don't think they were being truthful. Um,
when are any politicians being truthful?
I always sort of I had this feeling for a long time that I was meant for something more, and I always wanted to help people. And it's like was struggling to work out what it was.
Mm,
Um, and then sort of the they announced the election for the council. I went, maybe that's what I'm, you know. Started looking into it and got more interested. There was a time before I had children that I was interested in the local council,
yeah,
and then when I had the children, it sort of went to the side.
yeah.
And I thought, maybe the time is now. I looked into it and I thought, I'm just going to do it.
Just gonna do it.
Um, and yeah, it was interesting.
So you've run for local council here on the Central Coast
Yep, as an independent
as an independent
in the Budgewoi ward.
in the Budgie ward. And how many years ago was that? That was
Last year, yeah,
last year,
September last year, yeah.
September last year. Was that the one? No, I think I voted in the Central Coast one. They were talking about getting more councillors. I think. Do you guys didn't have that as well, or
They want to decrease the councillors, yeah.
yeah? And so going from, I guess, business owner to then running in a local council race, how was that? Because you've kind of jumped into a very different court there, and like, what kind of following did you get from that as well?
Um, I think a lot of people that were looking for something other than the the what do they call them? The two main
The
parties.
two major parties, yeah.
Yeah.
I think through COVID there was a lot of that. That after COVID it was like put the major parties last,
Yeah.
and I think independents got a lot of power in that time.
Yeah, it was interesting to see in the recent federal election that a lot of independents got a bit more.
Mm,
Um, I can't even think of a word. They got more votes.
yeah, they
Um,
did get more votes, yeah.
yeah. Um,
Except for the Greens. Poor Greens.
one.
My heart bleeds. Let me get out my little violin for.
Oh, almost two down, one to go.
That's right. Oh dear.
um, yes, no. I found that there was not. a great deal of transparency between the council and the constituents.
Mm.
I mean, they're there. They're meant to have our best interests at heart,
Yeah,
and
because we're the ones who vote them in.
we're the ones paying them.
Yeah.
And I think um, they they're it's the total opposite. They're not there for the constituents. They're for the developers.
And for
Their own agenda,
own
fill
agendas.
their own
Yeah.
pockets, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I go and sit through every council meeting once a month,
Yeah.
from 6 p.m. till sometimes 11 p.m.
And what day is what when do they run for people who might be interested in coming along with you? Because I think
I think it's every third Tuesday of the month.
yeah,
Usually, sometimes they change that, so you got to watch on their website.
yeah. And so how did you end up? How did you go in the election? The
Um,
how did you get your name out there? Going.
Letterbox drops, social media. Um, I had a great team of awesome women
Mm,
that I met in the process, and they helped me out a lot. Um, Other freedom fighting women, was great, and we've stayed friends, and it's been good.
that's awesome to hear.
I did lots of letterbox dropping. One day I did about 20 kilometers,
Wow.
and
How many steps is that?
no, um, yeah, no. A lot of people, especially from the larger parties, sort of discouraged and said, "Oh, letterbox dropping doesn't work anymore."
Mm,
And I just thought, well, I'm going to try and prove you wrong on that. And I did most of my letterbox dropping at the northern end of the coast, like Summerland Point,
mhm.
Gondolin, because I didn't have anyone to put in the polls up there on voting day.
Yeah.
And I just had my posters up there, which were all printed by myself on my brother's printer.
Wow.
um,
Go,
and
bro.
yeah, and so I went up there to the letterbox dropping, and interesting to see the numbers after the election. And I got fairly good voting up in those areas,
Mm,
considering I had no one to hand out how to vote cards at the
yeah.
polling booths. And I think it was just down to my letterbox drops.
Wow.
Um, yeah,
It really shows that people are seeking a different path forward, doesn't it? People are crying out for it.
I did. I did go and do. There was a couple of sessions of women in council that was provided to women that were thinking of being a candidate.
Yeah.
And it was said at one of those sessions by the administrator that you're pretty much wasting your time with an independent, because you'll never get in.
Mm.
Um,
Although I'm pretty sure Central Coast Council has an independent in right now.
they're yeah, independent. Yeah, they'll
They call themselves independent, don't they?
listed as independent, but I don't really think they're independent.
Okay.
But we can get to that. Um, Yeah, so below the line voting,
Mm.
I think they need to abolish the above and below line voting,
Yeah.
because people tend to be lazy these days and will just do above the line voting because they can just tick one box or two boxes.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, knowledge is power as well. And so if you're ticking the easy box, you're not really looking into who you're voting for.
that's right.
And so you're just looking for that party symbol and going for that. So that's
Yep.
how the major parties stay as the major parties.
Yep. And so all the independents are below the line,
Mm.
but out of all the below the line voting, I did get the majority of votes.
Hey, congratulations. That's something to be.
So
That's
I was quite happy with that, considering it's my first time.
mm.
Um, yeah, it was good.
So how much money did you kind of put into your campaign as well? Like you had no backing. How did you go?
I think my campaign, I haven't added it up total yet, but I think it came in at under $500.
Wow. Can think we need to start calling up some politicians and be like, you can do this a lot cheaper.
You don't need to spend a lot of money.
That's it. Wow.
I think there's a lot of waste
Mm.
goes into that, and I get that the Liberal and Labor and probably the Greens have money coming from their parties to help
Yeah,
them out.
that's right.
But I don't think you need to spend a lot of money. I think it's wasteful.
Yeah. And you've kind of proven that even with a small amount of money, an independent can you got the most votes out of all the independents. So that's a pretty good win there, I think.
Yeah.
Imagine if you doubled your budget to $1,000. I mean, what would happen? So you've come out the other side. What is the next step for you then?
Um, I've been contemplating getting more involved on the political side.
Yeah.
Um,
So it's not just give up, go home, I'm done, just go back to the business. We'll just make that successful. You've got a passion, obviously, and you wanna try make some change. And is that because there is a reason for making that change?
um, I think it's just trying to get the truth out there.
Mm,
Um, I grew up pretty much in a lie, and then when you discover that lots of things in life are a lie,
mm,
just makes you even more hungry for the truth, I think.
yeah. And so what is next then?
Um, it's not official yet.
Not official yet?
Not official yet, but I
What are your dreams? You could
I am considering joining One Nation
Yep, great party.
and getting on their bandwagon as a candidate for the state election in 2027.
Well, that'll be exciting.
So, yeah.
State election. One Nation have never done state elections, have they?
I think they may have
In the
done the
past.
last one.
Yeah,
I think so.
I don't
Um,
remember.
yeah,
But it's something they haven't really dabbled much into. So that'll be very exciting for them to have more candidates, more people jumping in the bandwagon. And I'm pretty sure One Nation got way more votes than they've ever gotten.
I think so.
And they did really well, especially up in the Hunter. They did quite well with Stuart Bonds. We had Martin Stevenson come on here, and he had a good old chat with us. Um, yeah, they're pretty positive and liked the outcome. So, what are you hoping to do through that? Like with a platform and a kind of a board like One Nation, what do you think you might be able to bring and
Um,
launch yourself into the next stage?
well, I think a lot of their candidates are male, so maybe a female's point of
Mm,
view. Um, bit more young blood.
yeah. Yeah, I've gone to a couple of their meetings, and they keep pointing us out. And I'm not the youngest bloke out.
Well, I'm not that young either. I mean, I'm closer to 50 than I'm 40. So,
Mm.
um, yeah,
Oh, you look 21.
thank you.
You're welcome.
um, yeah, I think just people that are passionate
Mm,
about the cause.
yeah. And do you find yourself your kind of values lining up with One Nation's values
Absolutely. Yeah.
and wanting to get that truth out there and we're kind of asking those hard questions of our politicians.
Yep. Yeah.
And so it sounds like I guess your loss at the local level has kind of got you more invigorated to go further with this, which is exciting.
I think so. I think that's, um, as I said before, I've always felt this need to want to help people, and I was meant for something more. So I thought
Mm.
maybe this is what I'm meant to be doing. So,
And what kind of things are you bringing to the table then?
um, I think just honesty and
Yeah,
transparency. I like to try and dig deep and find the truth and put it out there.
yeah. Well, when you if you do become a candidate and you're running, you might have to come back on here and tell us how you're going and what you hope to achieve because we are about hope here and we want to find out what kind of hope you might be able to bring in and help give people. And so that I'll throw that question to you. What do you what are your hopes? And then how are you hoping to change people's lives through those things?
Um, I hope that there's something better out there.
Mm,
Um, and I think people need to, even on their hard days, just keep in mind that um, they've gotten through hard days before
mm.
and they'll continue going through hard days and getting through them. And there is something better coming along the way.
Yeah. And so from someone who's kind of gone through hardship growing up, um, going through your adult life, bringing bringing um, bringing up children as a single mum, like people will be able to relate to you in a very different way.
Yep.
But it sounds like you've gone through very hard yards and have gone through suffering, and I think there's a lot of growth in that. Do you find that will actually help your situation rather than hinder it?
I think so. You always grow from adversities,
Mm,
um, and it just strengthens you along the way. I think, and just having that hope just to keep going every day. I mean, I could have given up a long time ago,
mm,
but I just keep going.
yeah. Well, we're really excited to see what you do, and so what is I guess the next year going to look like for you then?
Um, I suppose when I officially
When
join
you
One Nation
Yeah, because
and get that
this is
ball
not the
rolling.
official.
Yeah,
This is not the official. You haven't launched it on CEO
not
podcast.
yet.
But what is your, I guess.
It'll be just going through the official avenue for that,
Mm,
and just yeah, just starting the ball rolling and
mm.
just getting out there and stuff. Yeah.
I mean, if you weren't going to be with One Nation, would you go at it again as an independent?
Um, I know by watching someone I know that went through the federal election as an independent, Lisa
Hmm.
Bellamy. Um, she did a great job, um, but it's a hard
Mm,
job. Yeah, it's I don't know if I'd go as an independent
yeah.
for that reason. It is hard.
Mm,
Um, it would be great to go as an independent, but I think I sort of thought that if I went with a party that I aligned with,
mm.
um, there's probably more chances of getting up there.
Yeah, you actually have the backing and maybe a bit more support.
Yeah.
So if people were going to find out more about you and support you, where can they go to, I guess, find out more about you or anything like that?
I do have a page on Facebook that was for my council election.
Yep.
Still on there.
Awesome.
um, they can find me on there. Just type in Sandra House. I should come up. Um, I haven't been very active on it of late as I've been trying to finish my TAFE course.
Yeah, and then the next steps, right?
Yeah, I've been doing my Cert 4 trainers and assessors, so I'm trying to get that finished up
Yeah.
before I take on any more.
Yeah, awesome. And it sounds like you've got a bit of a plan, a bit of an idea of what you want to do. So I think this is awesome. We'll actually get that link from you for your Facebook page, so we can actually put it in our description, so people can hit that. So for those who are watching this and have made it this far, we're going to put that in the description for you, so you can find her and how and support her in any way you can. I'm sure she won't say no to prayer or financial donations or anything like that. So let's see what we can do with $1,000 budget instead of 500, hey? And that's the dream, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything you wanna go through before we start wrapping up?
Um, I think there is one issue that's probably um,
Something that's close to your heart?
yeah, that affects a lot of people on the coast at the moment, and that's the cost of living,
Mm,
specifically rental affordability.
yeah.
Um, being back to being a renter myself, these last few years have been really tough.
Mm,
Um, and I've approached both local federal MPs and state MPs, and I think I got more out of um, the meeting I had today.
You had a meeting today.
Yes, I had a meeting today with David Harris, our local federal MP.
Yep. No relation.
No, no relation. um, and yeah, had a very good, respectful conversation. Um, we spoke about what the government's planning to do and what they're doing about the cost of living.
Mm,
Um, they could, I don't think they're doing much about. I think one of what the main causes is the amount of immigration that's coming in at the moment.
yeah.
I understand that, yeah, we're short on skilled workers in some industries, and I wonder, is the amount of immigrants coming in all skilled workers?
Yeah.
Um,
That's also, yeah, that's a big one. I'm not against immigration.
no,
I'd probably be more for stronger vetting and bringing in less, obviously, because we want. I think assimilation gets thrown around as a bad word. We want people to come to Australia
yep,
to work hard, but to want to be Australian
yep,
as well.
to embrace our way of living.
Yeah, well, that's the reason why we've gotten to where we have today, isn't it?
Yep.
We used to be the people who, nothing phased us. We just got together as a team and just kept on going. That
Well, they used to integrate, and
mm,
now we're very divided.
yeah, the whole multiculturalism is thing. I don't think it's actually helping us. And when people talk about multiculturalism, they talk about their minds mostly go to like food.
Yep.
Like, yeah, I'm sure if we actually had people coming to Australia and wanting to be a part of the country, they'll bring their food, but they'll still want to adopt our values and what made Australia great in the first place, and what made us so wealthy. And for such a small population, we had some pretty cool booms in the past, and I think it's because Australians just get to work and get it done. But you find that less and less these days.
Yep.
There's more division than ever before.
Yep. Yeah. Um, yeah. So it was a good conversation with David Harris, and I came away with some extra information.
Mm,
Um, yeah, it was better than I actually went to a it was a state cabinet with the Premier Chris Minns at Womberall a few months ago.
yep.
They had a cabinet get together there, and when they had the question and answer time, I'm
Yeah,
putting
your hands up every
putting
time.
my hand up, and they picked me, and I got up and I said, can we address the elephant in the room? And that's the cost of living, specifically
Mm,
rental affordability. Um, and his response was, yes, you're right. It is the elephant in the room. And then he started rambling on about electricity. And I was thinking to myself, electricity is no good for me if I don't have a roof over my head.
mm,
um, yeah, and then I actually got a message from my ex mother in law later that evening, and she said, I saw you on the Channel 7 news.
yeah.
I went, oh, did you? I didn't even know Channel 7 was there.
There you go,
So
celebrity now.
I got on and I searched for it, and I watched it and went, they've cut and edited me.
Ah, dogs.
Mainstream media for you.
That's it. They're the best truth tellers, aren't they?
Um,
I'll tell everyone here, we do not we try not to cut anything out at all. So this is pretty much, we take it from here and we put it straight up online. And that's what we do here at See Hope. We want people to um yeah, trust our conversation here.
yeah. I mean, it was um, just coming into COVID. I'd been at the one house for 8.5 years,
Mm,
paying $380 a week rent for a very large house on a large corner block. And then in that time, I did know that rents had gone up a little bit,
mm,
um, but my landlord was happy that I was looking after the place. Um, and it got to the point where she had to sell the property because
mm.
she lived in Victoria, and I understood with their hard lockdowns that she probably wasn't working or wasn't
Yeah.
working as much, and she needed the extra funds, so she sold the property. So I had to move and hadn't had any trouble getting a rental for a while,
Mm,
and it was tough out there. Um, the extra people moving up from Sydney made it difficult. They're
mm.
throwing 6 months rent in advance at it.
Yeah, wow.
Was it was nuts.
Yeah, I remember that time as well. We were looking for rentals, and we just, especially for like units,
Yep,
you go to a unit and there's lines of
yep,
people outside the door, and so you go through and you're looking at these places, you're like, this is awful, and people are throwing down so much. Like you put it, yeah, I'll put in an offer, we'll see what happens,
yep,
and they're just run down. Like some of them even had black mold, and people are just ready to pay
yep,
whatever they can to just get into a house. There's
yeah.
so many people there.
And it got to the point where the settlement date had come, and I still hadn't been approved for another place. So we
Mm,
end up, going to the tribunal to get an extension. Um, and then a place popped up, and I noticed the real estate was actually owned by the son of one of my clients. And I went, oh, well, this might
it might help you.
might help me. So I remembered I had his business card that my client had given me. So I went, I might just send him a text message
Mm,
saying, this is what my position is. Can you help me? Um, and I got a response, and he said, just do the application. I'll let the ladies know, and we'll just make sure you can afford it. And yeah, that's how I got into the next property,
yeah,
which was, quite substantially more than what I was paying.
before, yeah,
And yeah, and then I had a couple of rental increases while I was in that property.
yeah.
And then that landlord decided they wanted to sell because they couldn't afford to maintain the property any longer.
Mm,
So went through the same thing again, having a hard time getting another property,
yeah.
um, but ended up finding one through the same real estate. And so I've gone from paying $380 a week at the end of 2020, early 2021, up to I'm now paying $680 a week.
Whoa, that's a
Um,
huge increase.
Absolutely. For a single income household, it's tough.
Yeah.
And I'm currently um, coming to the end of my lease. I've had a 12-month lease, and they then re signed up for a 6-month lease, which
Mm,
I thought was, a bit odd. Um, so I'm coming to the end of that, and I asked for a longer lease.
mm.
I'm not a
To
person who
just
enjoys
get it
moving
secured.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and took a long time to get a response from them.
Mm,
At first, they just said, "Well, we're happy to do another 6-month lease," and then a few days later, they eventually got back to my request for a longer lease, and they said, "Well, we'll do a 12-month lease, but we're going to have another rent increase in February." And I went, "Yeah, okay." Um,
mm.
so I already had one rent increase in February when I re-signed my lease,
Yeah.
um, and they want to put the rent up again next February.
Yeah, because they can only do it every 12 months,
Yep,
correct?
once every 12 months. And
And
so
so
they want to put it
they're
up
just
another
hitting that every time.
$55 a week.
Yeah.
So that's up to $735. And it's like, it's it's
Yeah, wow.
crazy. It's
It's a lot of
crazy.
money,
Absolutely it is.
especially for a single income
Yep. That
household.
is one income.
I was um I was on X, formerly Twitter, today, and one of our politicians was talking about, oh, I put in today, and it was actually 2 days later. Um, oh, I put in um, onto the floor 20%, taking away 20% of the student debt. And I saw a lot of comments on like, who's paying for that? And I left a comment going, can we actually take 20% off the national debt maybe instead? And so I think there's actually been a big outcry from um, tradies and whatnot, because they're not getting any relief and any debt relief. But we could even be putting that relief into housing, into rental assistance and things like that. But it sounds like they're just going for those easy votes.
I think so. I think the top end of town has to start paying,
Yeah.
i.e., big business, big
I
industry.
think, yeah, big business, big industry needs to be paying their fair share.
Absolutely.
Um,
I
we
mean,
we we're getting rid of all our resources
yep,
for nothing on the dollar, and then uh, we don't pay any. Those companies don't pay any royalties, which is just
Some of them even get subsidies.
that's right. It's crazy.
It is.
And you look at other countries and how they've got it going on, and they've, I mean, even just looking at Qatar, and they used to be the highest gas exporter in the world, and now we've overtaken them. They're raking in like 46 billion, and we're raking in 2.6. It's like, what is going on there?
Yep.
And then we keep getting told that we have a gas shortage and that we're going to have to import our own gas that we've sold to like Japan. And so we started building the ability to have gas come into our Newcastle port.
Yeah, not much of it makes sense.
It makes zero sense, is what I like to say.
I know there are some countries who, from the tax they receive from
Mm,
their resources, that they don't. There's no university fees. They get uni for
mm,
free.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, think about what 46 billion could do. There's a lot of things 46 billion could do.
yep. But what do they keep doing? They just keep taxing the workers more and more.
It's because it's easy to tax the workers. It's easy to tax the workers. It's easy to tax people over corporations, over to businesses, and any foreign investment and whatnot. It's just easy to go for the people than it is to go
They
for
probably get
anything else.
more campaign donations from the big end of town than they do from the
Yeah,
workers.
big lobbyists. Yeah, I bet you're right. I think everyone knows it right there. So you're going to hopefully one day be in a position to fight that.
Well, hopefully, but
Hopefully,
I do my best.
I think you're on the right track. I think you're doing good stuff, and it sounds like you're on the right track. And we're going to be watching your campaign in the future, hopefully, and you might have our votes too. Is there anything you want to say as we wrap up?
Um, Thanks for having me on here. This is the first time I've done a podcast. Um, yeah, it's great. Thank you.
Ah, you're welcome, and it's been awesome having you here. For people who want to just that social media, is there any other ways to contact you or support you?
Um, I'm happy for people just to look me up.
Yep,
I'm on Instagram as well.
cool.
Um,
I'll get your Instagram. We'll put
you
that in the
might find me
description
as
as
Sandra
well.
Mustang.
Like Mustang Sally.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, look me up. I'm happy for people to message me or
Yeah,
add me.
awesome. Well, thank you for coming on and sharing your story, as well as sharing your hopes for the future and hopes for, I guess, trying to give people hope in Australia and what you hope to achieve in running for any sort of government that we've got going on. So, thank you for coming on, and I'll finish up here and say thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for joining us, and please be praying for our new friend Sandra, and keep an eye on her and what she does in the future. So, all right, we'll see you later. Everyone, say goodbye. All right.